Water?
Yeah, water.
Well, we only serve paying customers, so you'll have to order more than water. If you're broke, go somewhere else.
50 dumplings. It's a deal.
Huh?
You feed me, and I'll take care of those guys for you.
Oops, didn't have my mic on. So, I'm bored as fuck, and I'm just chilling at my house because of this coronavirus. So, I've decided to make a scripting tutorial for you people, so I can teach you how Roblox works, so you can start making games yourself. So, let's see. I'm going to start off with local scripts. Just make one right here. And then I'll teach you the basics. So hold on. Ignore the autist screaming in the background. That's my brother. He's playing 2K. He's kind of sucks. He's got like a 20 overall or some shit like that. What a loser. I know.
I'm off of that post for it. I'm off. Actually, no, y'all niggas keep playing. We're playing something else, bro. Y'all can keep playing. I'm not playing that post for it. Y'all can stay on. I'm playing with.
So let's start with the Roblox client server model. So right now there's 2 different types of scripts, or I guess technically 3. This is the server. This is the client. There's just a module script. So on the client, you basically you can get a local player. The client, you kind of got to think of it. This is your individual device. So if you're playing on like a tablet, this is your tablet. If you're playing on a computer like I am, then it is the computer. So let's make something cool. Let's make a sprinting script. Okay. This is a variable. This is kind of like a little it's like a shortcut to whatever you want. So instead of every single time I want to access the local player, I don't have to type all of this. So it's like a little shortcut to what you want. This here is getting your character, but sometimes the script will actually load faster than your character's actually made. So you have to put this little part here right after. And then if we want to do cool shit, we gotta get the humanoid. So now, just like that, we've defined 3 different variables. Now let's get on to services. You want to get user input service? There's a bunch of services actually. So get service players. You can literally see all the services that are here. You're mostly, if you want to get input, you're gonna use user input service. So yeah. Let's make it to where, let's say you click Control, then you start running. So uis.input began. This is going to be a function. And I actually need to, I'll show you guys how to make stands actually in the next video. So I is input, G is game processed event. That's like a big word, it's kind of scary, right? All G means is if you're typing or something, or like you're doing something else, like clicking the GUI, then it won't fire. So you gotta kind of think of this function as every single time an input is done, like you click your mouse, click the middle mouse button, click any key on your keyboard, anything, and this is fired, and it tells you the input that was fired. So we want the control key. So if yeah, left control.
I don't need help on this team, bro. Can we get the right card? Get the right card? Because I have close one.
See that? See the output? I'm clicking Control. So we want to make it to where,
Oh my.
let's lower your walk speed in the beginning.
Because they're gonna score regardless, dude.
Also, you can change the humanoid settings locally, but I would not suggest it. The way I do my run scripts in my games is I usually have a loop, like in the very bottom, using the run service. And then this will control the speed, so that way people can't just like, you know, hack your game, just change their walk speed. There's actually two different types of functions. There's one where you just open it up like this, or one where you just do
I told you
this.
something about that cord.
And they basically do the same thing. I can basically take this, put it in there, and then it's done. So okay, so what we want to do is every single time this is clicked, we want to change a variable called is running. This is a boolean. Booleans can be true or false. So there's different types. So there's a bool, which is true or false. There is an integer, which is any number. Any number without a decimal. And then there's a float, which is any number with a decimal. So you know the data types now. Congratulations, you're almost a pro scripter now. So we want to do it whenever this is on. Is running is false. So is running equals not is running. So what not does is it kind of flips whatever it is. So if you're not running, then you're running, basically.
They don't want
See, it's flipping it. So we want to make it to where whenever you're running, then your walk speed is fast, and when you're not, then you're just slow. So then we actually know a lot. So if is running, then else, then you're walking. So if you're walking, if you're not running, if you are running, then you're running. So So this is it. This is the entire code. So now I'm running. No, I'm not. Now I'm running. No, I'm not.
Stop it! Stop it!
Cool, right?
Don't let them get in the test.
And this is actually unhackable because inside of the code, actually, it's not unhackable because hackers can just delete the script, but you can make a script that counters that script. You know what I'm saying? So like, you just kind of check. You're kind of checking to see if the script is still there, and if it's not, then you just ban them. Roblox has a huge issue with exploiters. Like, it's annoying. They're annoying. I hate them. But I was an exploiter too, so I understand. And just like that, you've made your first piece of code. Oh yeah, I kind of need to explain what this does. So this is like a loop. This is actually the fastest loop in the game. So it'll just every single frame, I think, or physics frame, something like that. Every single frame you have in your game, this is gonna run. So if I just have it out, step.
I know, like, this game is not ready for that, bro. It was earlier. Yeah, it was boot camp. Dude, I pulled up on that. I pulled up on a 60.
just like that. This is done. So I'll remove all the prints. This is the code. In just 35 lines, you have a functioning run script. And again, this is all done on the client, so this is all done on your computer. The code is ran on your PC.
Who wasn't watching?
So say I want to do this on the server. Let me disable this. You just copy paste it, just put it in here. Whoa, it should work, right? Right? And spoiler alert, it does not. Doesn't work one bit because it doesn't even know what the player is, because you can only get the player locally like this. If I wanted to get the player and make this work, actually it still wouldn't work because user input service is a local thing. It only works on the client, so it would just never work. So the way you can get the client and the server to communicate is remote events. So say I want to have this part here on the server. Then you need to be able to communicate between the two. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a folder here. I'm going to call it remote. And replicated storage, this is replicated, it's one thing that the server and the client can both see. So this, only the server can see this, only the server can see this. The client can see these. Which is why it's good to have remote events inside of here. So we're just going to name this main. Or we can name it literally anything, doesn't really matter. So then we need to get it here. Document main equals folder wait.
Hey, boomer.
Let's move this into server script storage. It doesn't really matter where you put it. It will still work in the end of the day. Oh, okay. I'm mildly sped.
Dude, I have a log on me!
And actually, the first thing that's passed in here is the players, so we can go get the character, which is player.character.
God, you gave me the biggest football.
Notice how I don't put the other thing that I had here, the player on character, whatever. This is because you really don't need that, because if this is fired, the player should have a character. If it doesn't, then I don't know. I've never had an issue where that doesn't happen, so. You can name this anything if you want. I can name it Bool if I wanted to. Just like that.
Yeah, you gotta pin that dude, bro. You gotta pin that dude. Yes. I should hit you.
And just like that.
It's okay, we got back. We got it back. Good D, David. Good defense, David. Oh.
You see it here. Clients on the server to run. Server received the message. Doing now. Clients on the server. Okay, I guess technically it's not telling it to run. It's telling you to walk now. And just like that, now your thing is filtering enabled. Although it would work if it's just on the client, because even though it is, the walk speed is replicated on the client, so you can change your walk speed on the client, which is why run hacking is the thing. But yeah, just like that, you got something simple. I'll show you guys how to make stands in the next video, if you guys actually like these. I know I really didn't get into much detail with like variables, shit like that. But honestly, if you just watch what I'm doing, you'll be able to kind of understand and kind of pick up. Like, you can go watch other tutorials for that shit. Like, I'm not gonna get into it. This does not need to exist. So I mean, just like that, you've got filtering enabled code. Bam! I didn't get into module scripts. I won't get into module scripts until later. But yeah, that's it.